but you're supposed to make them go from 2 into 1 when you can control your eyes. And at the beginning, I could only see 2. I could never bring it into 1. And now I can, and now it doesn't make me sick.
Well, in Emily's case, she seemed to have a sort of a conflict between her central vision and her peripheral vision and her balance system, which is, I think, typical in motion sickness cases. So when she was in a complicated environment, like a car with things, scenery moving by and movement up and down and so on, and then she'd use her eyes, it would cause her to get that sick feeling.
Well, growing up and even as an adult, I always struggled with motion sickness, but it's something that you think you're going to have your whole life. And so I just thought that's the way that it was going to be. And my husband actually, at a routine just vision exam with you, started hearing about all these cool things you were doing, and he saw some of the neat tools that you were using. And he came home with this pamphlet that listed out all the different things, including motion sickness and reading, because I always get tired reading. And in college, I had to focus. I had to go to the library and stare at a white wall just to be able to focus on the book that I was reading.
At what point or how many sessions in do you think you started being aware that there was a difference?
That's a good question. Probably like 6 or so where I started noticing more of a significant difference. It was further on in the process that I started noticing more of the difference for the motion sickness, but I think it was the accumulation of the tools we were using here in the office that all kind of banded together. Yeah, I came in and I was really excited because I'd been able to read a book in a weekend, and for me that was a big deal.
So reading speed and comprehension were improved?
Yeah, because my eyes weren't working together before, so it's like one of my eyes would be on one page and the other eye would get lazy in a way, and you wouldn't know it looking at me, but it'd float to the other page and I would feel like I was doing 2 things at once.
Well, you did about an hour a week here, and then you did some things at home. How many minutes a day do you think you did it at home? How many days a week?
We were supposed to do probably about half an hour to an hour a week. And the nice thing about that is it was a variety of different things. So some of them were physical exercises where I was throwing a beanbag around different parts of the room and having to catch it. And then some were computerized exercises where I had to put on 3D glasses. So yeah, probably about an hour a week outside of the classroom.
Well, there's lots of people with motion sickness and reading problems. Would you recommend this to them?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of, I was skeptical at first, not thinking that the tools that Dr. Cummings would be working with me on would be helpful in the long term. But in terms of overall quality of life, to know that there are tools out there and things that I can continue to do for the rest of my life that'll make it so I'm not sick in the car, so that I can read and understand things quickly, that's a huge benefit in terms of quality of life and something I wouldn't take for granted. I'd recommend it.